An analytical review of the literature on interaction presented by Hayden Rooks. This slidecast was prepared as partial fulfillment of the course requirements for Education 6610, Research in Computers in the Curriculum. The purpose of this slidecast is to present an analysis of the theme of interaction as it pertains to technology-enhanced learning environments. Interaction refers to communication between participants of a course which is motivating and enhances learning. Interaction is a complex phenomenon. There are studies that have examined the concept of interaction, but the definition and overall understanding of the concept are not always clear. Interaction is an important theme because it plays a key role in the learning process, in the perception of course effectiveness, and in achievement. Interaction has long been the crucial element in learning and is a vital factor in technology-enhanced learning. The most well-known taxonomy of interaction is learner-content, learner-instructor, and learner-learner. Methods. The 15 sources that form the basis of this analysis were selected from peer-reviewed educational technology journals and all included an electronic medium. The analysis only included sources with the word interaction as part of the title. Only journal articles that had research participants were included. This means that meta-analysis and book reviews were excluded. The studies selected were published between 2004 and 2014. They were all conducted in technology-enhanced learning environments, and the number of participants in the studies ranged from 9 to 33,612. Of the 15 studies, 13 used a mixed methods approach, one relied on qualitative methods, and one relied on quantitative methods. The studies involved participants from 11 different countries. The studies included research participants such as students, teachers, university professors, and even the general public. Findings. The analysis of the studies revealed 5 sub-themes or categories. These are interaction at the computer, interaction through the computer, increasing interaction, comparing interaction with different media, measuring interaction, frequency, and quality. Interaction at the computer. Each of the 4 studies in this category examined face-to-face interaction in a classroom with technology enhancements. Lim found interaction between peers in a regular classroom was increased in the computer area of the classroom at 68.4% compared to 53.9% in other areas. Lee, Sullivan, and Bears found students working with limited instruction had greater interaction than those working with guided instruction in a technology-enhanced classroom. The significance of these findings is that concerns of technology promoting isolation in young children may not be valid. Mavru, Lewis, and Douglas found interaction between disabled and non-disabled peers was enhanced while working at the computer in an inclusive classroom. Liang, Huang, and Tsai found that in a regular classroom that utilized an interactive whiteboard, that the activities that were delivered through the use of the interactive whiteboard enhanced the interaction between the teacher and the students. Overall, all 4 studies found that technology enhancements boosted face-to-face interaction in the classroom. Interaction through the computer. There were 11 studies that analyzed interaction through the computer. This means that the respondents were involved in some type of learning that was either online or had a component that was online. The defining characteristic here was that these studies relied on technology enhancements as a tool to interact with others that were not face-to-face. Increasing interaction. Shot and Bullen found students working on asynchronous message boards had greater interaction in their work when they were given opportunities early in the course to have social interactions. According to Downing and Chan, careful planning could have an impact on student interaction. Students were found to follow a pattern of decreased interaction late in an online course. By structuring the course very carefully to help students overcome this, greater interaction could be the result. Prokofieva found students who used wikis in their course have increased usage and interaction if they had increased knowledge of the software through training or past experience. comparing interaction with different media. Donnelly reported that there was not a strong preference for any one medium or technology enhancement by participants. While respondents could not agree on a single medium that was important for interaction, there were both advantages and disadvantages found for online course delivery methods. Jin found advantages included flexibility, 94%, reduced time and money for travel and parking, 56%, and the ability to control the pace of the learning, 50%. Disadvantages included misinterpretations, 50%, easy to slack, 39%, and technical problem frustrations, 33%. Measuring interaction frequency and quality. The choice of medium can have an impact on the frequency and quality of interaction. Findings of two studies showing asynchronous message boards and photo voice, an online teaching strategy that relies on the use of visual images and reflection questions, interaction was greater. Two studies showed that interaction was less when using wikis and social networking. Discussion. Technology enhancements provide valuable opportunities for learners to experience interaction as part of their learning experience. There were positive results and also recommendations made to help instructors and learners to improve the learning experience. There were also some limitations or negative findings with particular technology enhancements. Jin made positive findings that students indicated that they experienced interaction and found advantages to online course delivery methods. Lee, Sullivan, and Bears found unstructured learning can increase interaction. Liang, Huang, and Tsai found use of an interactive whiteboard with appropriate pedagogical techniques fostered interaction. Mavru, Lewis, and Douglas proved that the computer area of the classroom can be the best area for face-to-face interaction in a traditional classroom. Cooper found implications include the need for further research is necessary to produce interaction through the computer that equals face-to-face interaction. Downing, Lam, Kwong, Downing, and Chan inferred that interaction that results in knowledge construction may be difficult to produce in online discussion forums. Liu and Churchill found that some ICT media, like social networks, could fail to provide meaningful interaction and may be difficult to implement for an educational purpose. As a result of the analysis, some implications have been identified that may promote interaction. Buchot and Bullen found that making meaningful interpersonal connections at the beginning of a course could have positive impacts on meaningful interaction throughout the course. Donnelly found that various participants prefer various delivery media to maximize interaction, meaning that individuals may benefit from individual programming and/or flexibility in course delivery. SPA advised that educators should consider the potential for online communities as a delivery medium to encourage interaction. Prokofieva found that while working with wikis, technology skills and previous wiki experience, and also limiting the channels of interaction, helped to stimulate interaction. Conclusion. Overall, every study that was analyzed was in some way trying to measure, improve, or compare interaction with some type of electronic medium to inform and improve education. It is clear from this analysis that opinions vary on how to maximize interaction in the technology-enhanced classroom. There are implications and recommendations that can be considered by educators and researchers for interaction. A difficulty with making generalizations and comparing studies that measure interaction are confounding variables that could be at play, like instructor intervention, specific software being used on a device, learner demographics, and many more possible influences. Implications. It is interesting to note that none of the studies disputed the value of interaction Interaction is assumed to be a necessary and valuable part of education. There are some key implications that can be summarized from this analysis. Bushot and Bullen found that interaction could be increased if students are given time early in the course to make social or interpersonal connections. Donnelly found that technology enhancement preference by students for course delivery varies. 4 studies helped develop questions for future research in their respective studies. 2 studies found that young children can increase interaction in the classroom using technology enhancements doing face-to-face activities. There is a need for ongoing teacher training to ensure that pedagogy with interactive whiteboards is appropriate to foster interaction. Limitations. There are some limitations to this research. A limitation of almost every study was small sample sizes. There are 14 studies with fewer than 100 participants and 13 studies with fewer than 50 participants. Every study listed also used a sample selection method that was convenient for the research, but not perfectly random or the best for validity and reliability. The generalizations that can be made for education may not be valid and reliable because of demographics and potential variables like socioeconomic status. Because of limited sample sizes, selection methods, and demographics of the samples, it is difficult to make significant generalizations for interaction in technology-enhanced learning that can be applied to education universally. References.